Wow, I am so excited about our guest, Blaine Sumner. He is a stud. He is an American power lifter extraordinaire. He is decorated so much. It took me 5 hours to read this guy's bio and then some. Plus, I had already seen clips of him lifting, and he joins us right now from his gym in Gillette, Wyoming. Blaine, thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
So let's talk about powerlifting. I love how you're right there. It's almost like you're ready to go. What was it that got you on that path to powerlifting? Because in high school you were involved in so many other sports.
Yeah, so throughout my life in Little League, high school, college, I always played a lot of sports. Football was my favorite. Played in high school and college. And obviously the weightlifting always goes hand in hand with football. So that's really where I got my start and my love for the weightlifting, powerlifting. And then once the football days were over, I needed something to keep competing in. And it was an easy transition to powerlifting.
I like easy transition. So I'm thinking, yeah, of course, the squats, the bench, the deadlift. But come on, you had a unique skill, right? Did everybody want to be you in the gym when they saw you?
It's actually not as short and successful as a path as it might look. When I was in high school, I was the second weakest kid on my team as a sophomore. I was always really tall and really skinny, pretty unathletic. Around my junior year is when I just started to surpass people in strength. And, it really was a slow, steady climb. I was competitive at the local level after a few years, and then a couple years later, competitive at the national level, and then finally the world level, and then eventually the best in the world.
Best in the world. So when you set out, did you think, hey, I'm going to be the best in the world. I'm going to conquer this thing. I'm going to go to the Arnold Festival in 2014, 3 grueling days consecutively, and I'm going to medal. I'm going to walk away with 2 gold medals. Did you ever think that you would get to that level?
I think deep down I did, but I was so focused on my next small step forward that I wasn't, from going from squatting 600 pounds to 1,100, that wasn't always the goal. It was, I want 10 pounds more, 10 pounds more, and eventually all those little steps take you a long ways.
What's the hardest thing about, as you said, those little steps? What's the hardest thing about this game, about being an American power lifter?
I would say that that's changed over my career. Right now, at this point, the hardest thing is managing an extremely busy life, busy job. It's very time and stress demanding, and then also just racking up the injuries and the dings throughout the years and trying to, keep going. It's when you first get started and the strength gains come easily, everyone's excited and motivated, but when you have to try 10 times as hard to make a fraction of the gains that you used to, that's when it gets tougher.
Did you have a mentor going into this?
Yeah. So my dad was the first person I ever knew that I heard the powerlifting term from. Before I was born, he powerlifted. And then when I decided I wanted to get into it, he kind of helped point me in the right direction. And that eventually landed to some folks in Aurora, Colorado, Dan and Jennifer Gaudreau. They had a powerlifting gym and got me started in competitions.
Wow. So as people are listening to this, and then some people get the opportunity to see this, obviously we have a fabulous video that people will be able to see, and we'll share it all over the place. As they're listening to this and they think about, wow, what I want to do that. I want to at least get better in the gym. Give us a couple of quick tips for the average mere mortal like myself who needs 3 people on each side to be able to hold me up when I'm doing it.
So the first thing is just realizing that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. No matter what the goal is, it's going to be a lot of small steps, especially in today's day and age of instant gratification and seeing all these crazy things on social media. There's no shortcuts. You're not going to wake up in a week or even a month and be where you want to be. So the toughest thing is just consistently grinding and putting forth the effort consistently day in, day out. And then the other one is try and find someone who can point you in the right direction of quality technique and a good basic training program. Again, there's no magic tricks, there's no secret program, but understanding the basic movements right and a good, simple routine and sticking to it consistently is the biggest key.
Well, the powerlifting game really gained by having you in it. There's no question about it. You have a gazillion followers. People love you, and people are always rooting for you. I can see that in the time that I've been following you. But can you imagine if you had a career in the NFL? Because really, that was the road you were going. What happened there?
Yeah, that's where it was going. That's where I thought it was going to land. I played Division II football at the Colorado School of Mines. I was an All-American there, played defensive tackle. Graduated in 2010, which was the year of the NFL lockout. Talked to a number of teams. When the lockout came about, graduating college seniors weren't allowed to talk to NFL teams for a couple months. So, sorry.
That's all right. See, so this is real and in real time. Sometimes you lose the picture as you're moving along here because we've got audio and video. So there we got him back in the gym and behind the bar. So it was unfortunately the NFL lockout, as you were saying.
Yeah. I never really got my chance. I think if I did get my chance, I'd have succeeded and had a successful career there, but that's not where all paths led. So I'm happy and satisfied with what I've been able to do in the powerlifting world.
Yeah, and in the powerlifting world, what is it that you love to do the most? Because of course the competitions are different, and you have, if you look at, I mentioned at the top, squats, deadlift, etc. Do you have something that you love to do the most, or is it the comprehensive?
For the 95% of my powerlifting career, it was the squat. And over time, injuries to my knees, both hips, and my back. I'm still at the, as strong of a squatting level as I've been, but it makes the training harder because I wish I could go in like I used to and just get fired up and squat as heavy as I can and hard as I can. But really the injuries kind of restrict that. So now I'd say it's split kind of between the squat and the bench.
Squat and the bench. I love it. So do you think the powerlifting sport is getting bigger? And we're speaking with Blaine Sumner, of course, and some of you can see him and obviously others can hear him as well. And he's right there by his equipment in Gillette, Wyoming. Do you think it's getting bigger? It feels like that to me.
Yeah, it for sure is. I think maybe up until 2012, it was kind of a flat population. And then from 2012 on to now, probably about 2018, it really boomed, and it's kind of starting to level out again.
So leveling out, so that means has the competition for you gotten better, or have you gotten that much better?
I think a little bit of both. I think a rising tide lifts all ships, so that applies here.
And what is it that you want to, if you were to look to one thing, you want to win one thing, you want to be one thing, what would it be?
It's an interesting sport because you have both measurables, the numbers that you're trying to hit, but also big competitions. I would say I'm most motivated by improving myself. So right now I've squatted 1,113 pounds, I've benched 1,003, and I've deadlifted 817. I'm big into milestones, so I'm just kind of over 100-pound mark in each of those. Might take a while to get to the next 100-pound mark, but I just like to keep chipping away and pushing the world records further and further.
I love that. And helping you get in the kind of shape that you're getting in. I know that you love Promero Sports concrete. It's almost hard for me to say because I'm thinking of lifting concrete, but it's awesome stuff. Tell us about it and how it works for you.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. The first time I ever met anyone with concrete was in 2008 at a powerlifting meet. They had a booth at the meet, and I got to talk to them there, and they supported me through the rest of my college football days in pursuit of the NFL, and they've been there since day one of my powerlifting career. The support that the company has, the integrity that they have, that same integrity they put into their products, is for sure, without a doubt, helped me get to where I am today. Where I compete is drug-free. So I'm drug tested all the time. I get strangers showing up to my door to have me pee in a cup. And I have a lot to lose if I fail a drug test because of something that was in a supplement, and it happens a lot. So one of the biggest advantages to me of the Premier supplements and concrete, besides the fact that they work so well, is I know there's nothing in them that's tainted or is going to make me fail a drug test.
Yeah, so that security is great. And what does it do for you physically? What has it done for you? Because you've taken it for a long time.
Yeah, so the flagship product, the concrete, it's the creatine. And again, I've taken it since 2008. Helps you recover from workouts, gives you a little bit more energy during your workout, a little better recovery time between sets. And the recovery portion of the concrete, the creatine, is the best advantage of it. I take the protein as well, before, during, and after my workouts, and then throughout the day if I'm trying to get meals in. And then the Alpha Recovery is also another recovery product that I take all the time.
I love it. What's the best thing? This is the last question. What's the best thing about being a power lifter?
I think a lot of little kids' dreams is to grow up and be a big, strong guy. And I think that's what I like, whether you're filling up at the gas station or just driving down the road, just being a big, strong guy and having people point it out feels like an accomplishment.
Well, you're a big, strong guy and such a gentleman too. Blaine, thank you so much. I look forward to being in your gym sometime and having you show me a few techniques. Will you do that?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to do it, buddy. I'm going to come to Wyoming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate.